under manager Billy Martin, hoping Billy Ball bounces better for them against the White Sox of Chicago, another prime contender in the American League. And we could have a lot of fireworks tonight. The oldest ballpark in the Major Leagues, Comiskey Park in Chicago, the season premiere of ABC's Monday Night Baseball. This ABC Sports Exclusive is brought to you by Gillette, makers of Atra and Just Whistle razors. Gillette's best shave for both of you. By Chevrolet and your local Chevy dealers from coast to coast. And by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. It's been a hot, muggy day in Chicago, everybody. But we've got something tonight we think you're going to enjoy as two of the prime teams in the American League West square off for the first time in 1982. I'm Keith.
All right, everybody. This is a Monday night special. It is the opening, or as he said, the season premiere in 1982 of the ABC Monday Night Baseball Game of the Week. Of course, I'm doing the NBC Game of the Week every Saturday. My initial plan was to do a game every Saturday and every Monday night, but I thought that got to be a little monotonous and it's too close together. So this Monday night is just going to be a one-time deal. After that, I'm going strictly back to the Saturdays, and because I'm also doing the Nationals Inside Pitch, and then I may come up. I'm thinking about doing something on every Wednesday, calling it Wacky Wednesday, and just picking something different. Different games that I don't get to play all that often on the channel, like Replay Baseball, Payoff Pitch, History Maker, Status Pro, Pine Tar. I mean, there's all kinds of possibilities there for games that I don't normally play on the channel. APA, forgot about APA as well. So I'm thinking maybe on a Wednesday to my flow wants to be every Saturday will be the NBC Game of the Week. There'll be about 3 games of the Nationals spread out throughout the week in their replay, and then on Wacky Wednesday I want to reserve Wednesday for the Wacky Wednesday stuff. So that's the tentative plan. And so in this inaugural 1982 Monday Night Baseball game, it is Billy Ball and the Oakland A's traveling to Comiskey Park to take on the White Sox. Let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. And for the A's, leading off would be Ricky Henderson. Dwayne Murphy's in center. Cliff Johnson's at first. Tony Armas is in right. Jeff Burrows at DH. Mickey Klutz at third. Davey Lopes at second. Jeff Newman catching. And the Chicken Man, Fred Stanley, is the shortstop. For the White Sox, and this may be the worst rated center fielder defensively I've ever seen, Ron LaFleur, he's a 4 with a +3 arm and an E25. So I don't think I've seen a Strat card for a center fielder that's that bad. I mean, it's been a while, but I may have missed one, but that's pretty bad. But hopefully for the White Sox, he won't come into play all that often defensively. Bernazard bats second. Steve Kemp in left hits third. The Bull, Greg Luzinski, is the DH. Wimpy, Tom Paciorek, is at first base hitting fifth. The borderline Hall of Famer, somehow he got in, I don't know how, Harold Baines, right fielder. Carlton Fisk is the catcher, legitimate Hall of Famer. Aurelio Rodriguez is at third, and Bill Allman is the shortstop. And he's Bill Allman Joy because sometimes he feels like a nut and sometimes he doesn't. All right, so we are ready to go. Starting pitchers, I didn't mention them, but left-hander Steve Trout is on the mound for the White Sox, and on the 82 season, he was 6-9 with a 4.26 ERA. And on the mound for the A's is Rick Langford, 11-16 with a 4.21 ERA. So these are the particulars. And we are just about ready to go. Got the red and white dice for the White Sox and the green D20 for the A's. All right, Ricky Henderson is going to step in. And on my last video on the game of the week, the Cubs and the Giants, for some reason my phone, when I must have moved in front of it or did something, parts of it got blurry. So I'm going to need to periodically, maybe every 3 innings, just check and make sure that the focus is good on this. It looks like through the phone that the focus is okay. So I'm going to sit down and get ready to play Monday Night Baseball. This is the one and only time I'm doing this because like I said, it's just too much. And our friend Sports Time Machine, Utah Mike, was doing something Monday Night Baseball, so I don't want to step on any toes there. So my niche is going to be the Saturday game of the week. And this is just a one-time thing. And the only reason I'm playing this is because I blurted it out at the end of the Giant game that I was going to do this. So, like I said, I originally had it scheduled. I had a whole schedule for all Monday night games, but that's just going to be too much and too much overkill. So we're just going to go with it as it is. But just enjoy this ball game tonight between the A's and the Sox. I'm recording it on a Saturday afternoon, but probably going to post. I'm going to try to post it Monday night. I know a lot of people like to post on Monday night. I'm going to try to get with some guys, RJL and some others, and see if I can work around their schedules. All right, so Steve Trout finishing up the warm-up tosses. Will be facing Ricky Henderson. You definitely want to keep him off the bases. Here's the pitch, 6-10, and that is a catcher X right off the bat, and that is Carlton Fisk. And this time I did not forget to bring my defensive charts out, so I've got those handy. Carlton Fisk is a 2-E2, so very good. 2 and a 3 for a catcher. W/G, but with nobody on base, that's not going to matter. And that's a 13, and he's an E2. That should be no problem. It is not. So a W/G, it would be a wild pitch. It says if no runners on, the batter hits a squib in front of the plate, and the catcher throws him out. So Ricky Henderson squibs it in front of the plate, motors down to first, but Fisk pounces out quickly and gets him just in time for one away. And here's Dwayne Murphy, center fielder, lefty on lefty, but Dwayne Murphy has a good column 1 against lefties. Trout, 6-8 against the lefty, ground ball, second base X. So second baseman for the Sox is Bernazard. He's a 2E14. 2 and an 18 is good all day long. E14 and a 13. I think 11 from, I remember playing the 77 White Sox. George Order was always an 11 that I had to try to avoid. But I think Bernazard has a different rating, though. Yeah, he was a 23, where Bernazard's only a 14. So Bernazard has to avoid 15, 16, and 18, and he did that. That's only a 13. So good play for Bernazard. 2 down. For Cliff Johnson, playing first base is usually a DH, but they're DHing Burrows. So Mr. Johnson, but he's in there against the lefties because he can pound lefties. Trout, 2-7. This time we're off of Johnson's card. 1-10's a single, but that's a 12. So he lines it right to Bernazard to end the inning. So 1 inning in the books. It is Oakland nothing, and the White Sox coming to bat. And Billy Martin not exactly happy about how his team is starting out. Tony La Russa in the other dugout is very happy about it, though. Ron LaFleur will lead off against Rick Langford. We get a 2-6, and that's a leadoff walk, and that's what LaFleur is on there for. He's there for his offense, his speed, everything else. Not worried about his defense all that much. And he gets a jump automatically. 2 through 12, there's nothing to prevent him from getting a jump. It says 2 through 12 here, so to me, he will automatically get a jump. So I'm not sure what the secondary rating is here, unless the only thing I think of is if we roll a pickoff chance, then that would prevent him from getting the jump. So I'll roll that just to be on the safe side. Make sure there's no pickoff chance, and there's not. So he's going to get the jump. 15 is his starting point. And -2 from Langford is a 13. Newman is a +1. That makes him a 14. Being held, -2 makes him a 12. So 1 to 12, LaFleur will steal it. And he does. So Ron LaFleur does what he's supposed to do. Gets on base and steals second. So he's on second base with nobody out for Tony Bernazard. Nothing on the havoc. Bernazard hits Langford. 1-7, and that's a fly ball center field B ? I believe that only applies to third base. I don't think it applies to second. But I will, playing so many games inside pitch, you can move up. So I got to make sure that I'm applying it to the right situation here. I don't believe you can do that, though. Yeah, this is just talking about guys on third, so I'm pretty sure it does not apply to a guy on second. So I think LaFleur is going to have to stay put. And that'll bring up Steve Kemp. Nothing on the D20. 6-7, and Langford against the lefty. It's a single, 2 stars. That will score LaFleur, and the Sox lead at 1-0. RBI single from Steve Kemp. Kemp not really a threat to steal, but he will be held. And the Sox lead at 1-0, and Billy Martin again grimacing in the dugout. Oh, almost a chance for a wild pitch, but it flipped to a 13 instead. Here's the bull, Greg Luzinski. 6-7, and that's a single, 2 stars again. So Langford not fooling anybody. And that's runners on the corners with only 1 out. Greg Luzinski will not be held at first base. They will play behind him. Here's Paciorek. 6-6, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play. And Langford gets out of any further damage. But the Sox get a run, and at the end of 1, it's Chicago 1 and Oakland nothing. Steve Trout back out. Billy Martin trying to encourage his troops. Tony Armas, center fielder, will lead things, or right fielder rather, will lead things off, followed by Burrows and Klutz. 1-7 for Armas. 1-7 is a single. That's a 13, so he's going to line it to third, and Aurelio Rodriguez snares it. 1 down, and that's going to bring up the DH, Jeff Burrows, definitely at the end of his career. But he can still hit. 3-6, but not this time. He strikes out. So Trout sent Burrows fishing on that one, and he came up empty. So 2 down for Mickey Klutz, and boy, not to make fun of people's names, but I would have hated to... I know how people in school were when I was a kid. I don't know how it is now, but when I was a kid, if you had a name like that, you would definitely be picked on for sure. You'd be in some fights. All right, fortunately, I didn't have that name. Here's Trout. 5-7 against a right-hander, and that's a walk. So first base runner for the A's. It is a 2-out walk to Mickey Klutz, and he is not really a threat to steal. He didn't steal any bases or caught at all, so he had no attempts. They will not even hold Klutz on. We'll check for a potential balk. Nothing happening, or a wild pitch, I should say. Here's Lopes, 1-4 against a lefty. That's a ballpark single check, and I always say I don't forget. I was proud of myself because I'd gotten the defensive boards, and I was like, okay, I didn't forget anything. Well, I did forget something. I forgot the ballpark charts. So it's like my, I don't know what it is. My signature is I always forget one thing, one little thing. And now my ballpark charts, and I actually forgot where I put them. They're not in my Strat-O-Matic box. They're in my 1982 season box. So let's get the old ballpark effects. From what I could tell on the telecast, it was good weather, so we're going to play good weather. But actually, I'm just using the generic ones for the American League. So, oops, wrong side. American League, Chicago. Ballpark singles are 1-10, and home runs are a 1. So singles are 1-10, and it's the same both lefties and righties, and home runs are just a 1. So in this case, we get a 6 on a ballpark single. That means it is a good single for Davey Lopes. It's only 1 star on the ballpark singles, so Klutz will stop at second base. So 2 on and 2 out for Jeff Newman. Trout, nothing on the havoc roll. I'm sorry, it was a 2. It means we're chancing. That means we are looking for potentially a balk or a pass ball. And this tells us we're looking at a pass ball. Fisk pass ball rating is a 4. Nope, no pass ball. He blocks it. So Newman will step back in. 2-9 for Newman, and that's trouble against a lefty. 1-16 is a double. That's a 12. A double, 2 stars. So Lopes cannot score. He has to stop at third base. But we have a tie game on the double by Jeff Newman as Mickey Klutz comes around to score. We are tied at a run apiece. And Trout had the first 2 outs, thought it was easy, but then that 2-out walk kept something going. Here is Fred Chicken Stanley. It's another 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. Now we're checking for another pass ball again, and the pass ball would bring in a run. It's about pass ball range of 4. And this time, just barely blocking it is Fisk. 5-9 against a right-hander. That's a fly ball to right to end the inning. But the A's tie the score at a run apiece as we go to the bottom of the second. And now I think I have all my accoutrements ready and handy, ready to go. I don't think I'm missing anything now. At least I hope not. All right, so Harold Baines will lead things off. Right fielder against Langford. 3-6, and that is a strikeout. That'll bring up Carlton Fisk, Pudge. 5-6, and that is a ground ball to third. And Klutz will take care of that over to Johnson. 2 quick outs for Aurelio Rodriguez. 2-5, and that's going to do some damage. 1-3 is a triple, 4-20 is a double. That is a double for Aurelio Rodriguez, a 2-out double. He will not be held at second base as an E base runner. He will not be held. But we will check for a balk or anything. Nothing happening there. Here's Billy Allman. Chance to drive home the go-ahead run. 3-4, and he won't do it. All these hits in column 3, and 3-4 is a foul out to Jeff Newman to end the inning. Right behind the plate. So that's going to end the inning. The double goes for naught after 2 complete. It is 1-1. Sox and A's. And now I'm getting semi-paranoid about the focus, so take a second to make sure that there's nothing blurry going on here. Looks like everything is still in focus. So I will check that. Try to check it every 2 or 3 innings, just to be on the safe side. Trying not to put a whole lot of things in front of me that would take the focus away. So not doing anything with base runners or any special accoutrements. So hopefully in this setup that the focus will stay focused. Here's Ricky. The little dribbler to Carlton Fisk his first time up. He's looking to get on base and do some damage. 2-6 for Ricky, and he walks. That's a patent Ricky Henderson way to get on base. And you know Ricky Henderson's going to try to get a jump. 2 through 10 will get him that jump. That's an 11, so he could not get the jump. How about that? Now, he still could try. If he wanted to, it would be a 16, but you subtract 4 for being held on your secondary rate makes him a 12. Fisk is a 0, and Trout's a 0, so it'd be a 1-12 if you wanted to try it. You know, Ricky is so stubborn. He's going to try it either way. And Billy says, go right ahead. It says Billy Ball. 1-12, he'll make it. And he does. Ricky Henderson defies the odds. He says, jump? What jump? Who needs a jump? We don't need no stinking jump. And Ricky Henderson is aboard. All right, he's on second base with nobody out for Dwayne Murphy. Nothing on the havoc. Henderson is being held at second base. Murphy, 3-5 against the lefty. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Steve Trout. 1 away, and that brings up the big man, Cliff Johnson. He's the big guy with the toothpick. There's 2 guys that usually shoot a toothpick. UL Washington and Cliff Johnson, and no way you can tell him, no way you can get him confused because Cliff Johnson was humongous. All right. Trout, 6'10". Catcher X again. That's Fisk. He's a 2E2. 2 and a 3. That could end up being a wild pitch of some sort. We'll see. The error chance there is a 6. He has no error, but a 2 and a 3 is a W/G, which says, with runners on base, a pitcher uncorks a wild pitch. So how about that? So Fisk couldn't block that one. It's a wild pitch, and Ricky Henderson goes to third base. So Ricky's at third with only 1 out. Infield's going to have to come in now for Cliff Johnson. Infield is in. 5-5, and that's a strikeout. Huge strikeout for Trout. That's 2 down, and now the infield can go back to normal. For Tony Armas, Ricky's like, do I have to try to steal home to get the score here, or are you going to drive me in? Armas, line to third, his first chance. 1-9, struck him out. So Steve Trout comes back and strikes out the side, and Ricky is left on the bases. So Ricky lost that number, and A's lost a chance to score. It is still 2-2. I'm sorry, 1-1 in the bottom of the third. And here's Ron LaFleur against Rick Langford. Walked, stole second, and scored his first trip. 4-11. And that's a ballpark home run chance, but it's only a 1. And, of course, that's a 13, so it's just merely a fly to left field. One away. LaFleur is retired for Bernazard. Bernazard a 3-4. Pop up to short. And Stanley makes the play. 2 down for Steve Kemp. He had the RBI single. First time up. 6-10. It's ballpark single. 1-10. That's a 5. It's a single for Kemp. He's 2 for 2. Kemp will not run, but he will be held. Because if you don't hold him, he will run. Nothing on this havoc. Here is Greg Luzinski. 3-9 for Luzinski, and that's a strikeout to end the inning. So 3 innings in the books here on the Monday night special. Inaugural or premiere of the Monday night season in 1982. Not sure why they waited till June to start that, but maybe they had other obligations. I don't know. All right, here's Jeff Burrows. Struck out his first chance. 1-9, and he's going to strike out again. So Trout has now struck out 4 in a row. As Trout has them fishing for that off-speed stuff, and they're coming up empty-handed. Here's Klutz. 3-7. It's ground ball to short. Easy play for Almond. 2 down for Davey Lopes. 6-7, and that's a damage done. 1-5 is a double. 6-20 is a single. That's an 8. So Davey Lopes a 2-out single, but he's certainly a threat to steal. He can get a jump on a 2 through 6 or a 12. And a 12 will do it. So Davey Lopes will get the jump. Starts as a 17, being held makes him a 15, and everything else is 0. So it's a 1-15 for Davey Lopes. And he's in there, stolen base. So Lopes steals second base, gets himself into scoring position with 2 down for Jeff Newman, and they will have to hold Lopes on second base. Hold him tight. Try to prevent him from getting a jump to score on a base hit. Here's Newman. 3-9, doesn't matter, struck him out. So Trout pitched around that. We go to the bottom of the 4th, and it is still 1-1. Trout has a fatigue of 6, Rick Langford a fatigue of 8. So neither one of those guys are in danger of being tired. I got to remember that playing the older seasons, pitchers can go longer. So, been playing 2019 so long, you're used to getting tired so fast. Different game back then. Here's Tom Pashork. In my opinion, a much better game back then. 2-6, and that's danger. 1-14 is a double, but a 15 is a single, leadoff single for Pashork. But I don't want to sound like a old curmudgeon that's yearning for the glory days and all that good stuff. So, because I know when I was a kid, the older generation did the same thing. So I guess it's generational. I don't know. So Pashork will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. And here's Harold Baines. 6-4, and that's going to be a ground ball third base X. That is the third baseman, Mickey Klutz. He's a 4.28. Not very good defensively. 4-14, though. He should get to it. Probably won't be a double play. Might just be a fielder's choice. 4-14. Actually, it's, fielder's choice, G2. That's a 7, and he's an E28. No 7 there, so it is a fielder's choice. So they go the short way to second. Lopes secures a throw, but does not risk one to first base. And Baines is now the new runner. Now Baines, if he can get a jump, he's got a good chance, but in order to get a jump, it has to be a 6. And he just missed getting the jump. So Baines will hold fast. And here's Carlton Fisk. 1-8 for Fisk. Ground ball pitcher B, another fielder's choice. That's going to go 1-4. With Lopes covering and Fisk the new runner. Now Fisk is showing as an A stealer, even though he's a catcher. He stole 17 bases, only got caught twice. So maybe the element of surprise. So he will definitely be held on, and he'll actually try to get a jump, but it has to be a 7. And he gets the 7. How about that? Right on cue. So Fisk is a 19, being held makes him a 17. -2 from Lankert is a 15. Newman adds 1 to 16. 1-16, and he makes it. Fisk is just in there, just beat the tag. He just beat the tag. Lopes is not happy about it. He's arguing with the umpire, but That's going to stand as a stolen base for Carlton Fisk as they caught Langford napping over there. And Newman didn't really have much of a chance. So 2 outs, and Fisk now in scoring position for Aurelio Rodriguez, who did double his first time up. 4-5. This time he grounds it to Klutz to end the inning. So we go to the 5th, still tied at 1. Both teams getting some guys on base, but can't get them home. Both pitchers pitching out of trouble. Trout coming back out to face Fred Chicken Stanley. 3-7, and that's going to be a ground ball back to Trout, 1 away. Ricky Henderson. 6-3, and that is a fly ball left field X. Left fielder is Kemp. He's a 4-E-8. 4-1, that's going to be a base hit, most likely a double. 4-1 will be a double. Actually, no, take it back. 4-1 is actually a triple. That's a 13. He is an E8. No 13, but there will be a leadoff triple for Ricky Henderson. How about that? A leadoff, or not a leadoff triple, 1-out triple from Ricky Henderson. So Henderson mowed around those bases, and by the time Kemp got to it, he's standing on third base. The infield is in now with 1 out. Murphy the batter, lefty on lefty against Trout. 1-7, and that's a 1-14 single. That's a 3. It's a base hit. Doesn't matter about the infield. It's a base hit. Henderson scores. A's lead it 2-1, and Billy Martin is now very happy again. He is smiling for a change. Murphy will try to get a jump. 2 through 5, he will get that jump. He cannot. So Murphy will hold. Here's Cliff Johnson. 2-12 against the lefty. That's a ground ball, second base A with a plus sign on it. So I'm thinking, if I remember correctly, when it's a plus sign, I thought that if the second baseman is responsible, then that gets through, but it could be, the plus sign could be just for the infield in. So that's one I'm not sure of. I play these things all the time, but sometimes little things kind of can get where you forget them, at least at my age anyway, and I'm 56 going on 57, so that can happen. I'm going to pause the video while I look this up so you're not sitting around wondering what's going on. All right, I found it. And when you're in doubt, go to the rule book. And this is super advanced rule number 17.13. Says do not award a single on a ground ball plus while runners are being held on base. So it's only when the infield is actually in, not when the runners are being held. So instead of a ground ball second base A being a base hit, it's actually going to be a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. So I thought that was the case. A quick glimpse made me think of that, but that's only on an X chart. When you have an X chance, that you worry about who's holding the runner. So the A's take the lead 2-1, thanks to Ricky Henderson's triple and Dwayne Murphy's single. Bottom of the 5th we go, and Billy Allman, and actually I was a good chance to check the focus while I was doing all that. And the focus still looks like it's okay through the phone. It's the only thing about doing these without doing them live. People doing them live can see exactly what is being shown, but I can't do that on the recording. So I won't know until after the fact. All right, so Billy Allman will lead it off. He fouled out to Newman, the catcher, his first time up. 5-5, and that is a fly to right field. Tony Armas is there, 1 down. And that'll send up Ron LaFleur. 6-7, and that's a single. And LaFleur is going to be looking to run again. Again, the only way he won't get the jump is if there's a pickoff chance. And there is not, so he gets the jump. And we've already calculated he's a 15. Being held makes him a 13. -2 is an 11. 1 to an 11, plus 1 from Newman is a 12. 1 to 12, it's a stolen base. 13 or higher, he's out. And he steals it. That's a 9. So stolen base number 2 for LaFleur. He's in scoring position with 1 out. He will be held as they try to keep him close. With Tony Bernazard up, hitting left-handed as a switch hitter. That means Fred Stanley is going to be the one responsible for keeping LaFleur tight. Langford for the havoc, nothing going on. Bernazard 0 for 2. 5-5, and that's going to be a walk. So while they were worried about him stealing or getting a big jump, they walked Bernazard to put 2 on with 1 out. One bright spot, it does set up a double play for Kemp, if they can induce Kemp to a double play. Langford, nothing on the havoc. 1-4, and that is a ground ball pitcher B, but it is a ballpark single check, which is 1 to 10, but that's a 20. So that is a line out to second as Lopes snags it for out number 2, and neither runner can advance. So now it's up to Greg Luzinski to try to drive home the tying or possible go-ahead runs against Langford. 5-12. Ground ball first base X. And with runners at first and second, the first baseman is not responsible for holding any runners. So he keeps his full defensive position, which is good because he's not very good. 4-E-19 for Cliff Johnson. 4-16, though. I think he catches a break there. 4-16 is actually going to be a G2. And that's a 9, and he is an E19. And unbelievably, 10 and 11 are errors, but not a 9. So Cliff Johnson gets to it and flips to Langford covering to end the inning. And the A's get out of that mess intact with a 2-1 lead after 5 complete. And Billy Martin again cracking a wry smile. So, top of the 6th, this is the fatigue inning for Trout. And he's going to face Armas, Burrows, and Klutz. 6-7, and that is a damage done. 1-5 is a double. That is a 3. Leadoff double for Tony Armas. And the A's looking for more. Bullpen now working for the White Sox. They do have right-hander Chico Escarrega. I guess that's how it's pronounced, Escarrega. Right-hander loosening in the bullpen. They have 4 bullpen pitchers active for this game, do the Sox. I think both teams have 4 bullpen arms that are available. All right, Trout, nothing on the havoc. Here is Jeff Burrows. 6-6, and that's a walk. So one more base runner, be a hit or a walk, and Trout will reach his fatigue. So Escarrega is warming up more in earnest now. Here's Mickey Klutz. He's a decent bunter, but not that great. That's a 1. Chance for a wild pitch. 1-4 is a wild pitch. Nope, no wild pitch. It's blocked by Fisk. So Klutz is up. Not a very good bunter, so they're going to swing away. 4-7, and he strikes out. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet, so the strikeout will stand. 1 away, big out there. And now Davey Lopes, the batter. Trout versus Lopes. Nothing on the havoc. 3-9. 3-9 is a ground ball pitcher A, and that'll get him out of the inning. 1-6-3 to take care of the inning. So Trout gets off the hook and doesn't give up any runs to the A's here in the 6th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 2-1 Oakland. Not sure if Trout will come back or whether Escarrega will come in and pitch the 7th or not. We'll have to wait and see how it plays out. Here's Wimpy, Tom Paciorek. He's 1 for 2. 4-7 for Langford, and he got a break there. It gives up a lot of hits in column 4, but 7 isn't out. Fly to center. Dot there, but he's not tired, so fly out to center field for 1 away, and here's Harold Baines. He's 0 for 2. 5-7, that's a ground ball second base X. That's Lopes. Lopes is a 4, E21. 4 and a 5. 4 and a 5 is a single. It's going to get past him. 13 on the error check, and he is an E. Where'd he go? He is an E21 on a 13. Yep, there's a 13 for an error, so it's not only a single, it's also an error. So Baines singles and then gets to second on a throwing error by Lopes as he tried to throw late to first, and it probably should have ate the ball but didn't. So error on Mr. Lopes puts Baines at second with 1 out. And Carlton Fisk, the batter. Nothing there. 3-9 for Fisk. Ground ball to short, and that will freeze the runner Baines at second base. So 2 down, and it's Aurelio Rodriguez. It's up to him. He has doubled. He's 1 for 2. 1-6, and he grounds to Klutz to end the inning. So again, the Sox put people on, but Langford's pitching out of it. Billy Martin giving the appreciative golf clap in the dugout. Says, way to go. We go to the 7th. It is still 2-1 Oakland. And Trout is going to come back out, but he is on a short line. If he gives up anything here, La Russa may reel him in. Here's Newman. 1-3, and that's a foul out to Rodriguez. 1 away. And yes, I'm using every fishing pun I can think of. Just in the mood. Apologize in advance. Here's Stanley. 1-6, and that's a ground ball to third. Klutz will do it again. Or not Klutz, Rodriguez will do it again. 2 down. So we may get 7 innings out of Trout, although Henderson's tough. Gotta watch out for Henderson. 1-5. He did strike him out to end the inning. So how about that? Trout, I think we're going to cap Trout at 7 innings. I think that's going to be it for Trout. He's going to go 7 innings and give up 2 runs. So fine performance from Steve Trout, as he was able to get it done. And 7th inning stretch time here at Comiskey. And I believe in 82, I think by 82, I do believe Harry Carey had moved on to the Cubs. So I'm not sure who's doing Take Me Out to the Ball Game in Comiskey in 1982. I think Nancy is still doing the organ. Let's see. Langford's going to come back out, as he has a fatigue check of 8, so he's definitely still good to go. Sox will most likely bring in Escarrega, although they do have a lefty coming up first in Dwayne Murphy, but we'll wait and see. Billy Allman will lead it off. And is there any indication that they would pinch hit for Allman? Let's take a look. They do have a lot of guys on the bench. Actually, they're going to pull Allman. Allman's coming back, and Rudy Law is going to pinch hit. So Rudy Law is going to pinch hit for Allman, as La Russa wants to get something started here. It's getting late early, as they say. And the new shortstop for the White Sox will be Vance Law. He's mostly a third baseman, but he's got a shortstop rating well. Not very good, 4.40, but still better than what Allman was. So it's still an improvement. So Vance Law take over at shortstop once the inning is over. But right now, Rudy Law with the pinch hitting performance against Rick Langford. Langford 2-5, ground ball to second. That's retires Law. So Langford fought the Law, and the Law did not win. But the Law will go in and play shortstop, being Vance. Here's LaFleur. 3-9 for LaFleur, struck him out. Good idea to keep LaFleur off the bases if you are Langford. 2 down for Tony Bernazard, 0 for 2 with a walk. 1-10, and that's a foul out to the third baseman Klutz to end the inning. So Langford rolling along here. We've played 7 complete at Comiskey. It is 2-1 favor of Oakland, and now we need a new pitcher for the White Sox. I think they are calling Escarrega back. So I think we're going to go to someone else. They're going to go to Kevin Hickey, a lefty. He is 4-4 with an ERA of even 3 and 6 saves. So Kevin Hickey will be the new man on for the Sox. Kevin Hickey. Because you bring in a righty, they got a whole bunch of lefties on the bench that can pinch hit. So you might as well just stick with who you have, I guess. Because Billy Martin has a lot of guys on his bench he can turn to. All right, so Dwayne Murphy is up lefty on lefty against Kevin Hickey. Start the top of the 8th, 2-1 Oakland. 1-5, and that's a ballpark home run chance, but it's only a 1. That's a 5, so it's going to be a deep fly to right field for Murphy, 1 away. Brings up Cliff Johnson. 6-5, and that's a fly to right. So Baines puts that one away also. 2 up, 2 down for Tony Armas. 6-7. That's a ground ball to short. And the new shortstop, Vance Law, puts it away. When I tell you, when you come to play defense, the ball finds you very early. But Law was up to the task. And we go to the bottom of the 8th, still 2-1. Now this is Rick Langford's fatigue inning coming up right here, so have to keep an eye on that. Kemp is your leadoff man. It'll be the heart of the order: Kemp, Luzinski, and Paciorek. Now the Sox do have on their bench, they do have lefty Mike Squires. He could pinch hit. They also have Jerry Hairston, kind of a professional pinch hitter. They also have Jim Morrison and Mark Hill. So they've got those guys remaining on the bench. But they're going to stick with Kemp. He's 2 for 3. 6-6, but this time he grounds to Davey Lopes at second. 1 away. And it'll bring up the bull, Greg Luzinski. Just one swing of the bat could tie the game just that quickly. 1-6, but he struck him out. 2 down. Langford might be bucking for a complete game here. All right, here's Paciorek. Do you pinch hit for Paciorek? Paciorek is 1 for 3, but Tony La Russa may be going to his bench looking for some pop. So they're going to go to Mike Squires, and Mike Squires will stay in the game to play first base. He's much better defensively as well. So Mike Squires will come on and pinch hit, stay in the game to play first base. He's a 1E9. But he does have a really nice column 3, a triple here, and a home run chance there. So they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle right here with Mike Squires. So we'll see how it plays out. Langford to Squires. 3-4. Found the column 3, but it's a ballpark single check. And that's an 18. Ballpark's only a 10. So he lines it to second to end the inning. 8 complete. It is 2-1. Still nip and tuck. The A's lead at 2-1. Now, Burrows, Klutz, and Lopes, a bunch of right-handers are coming up for the A's. The Sox may go to their bullpen, and I think they will. They will now go to Chico Escarrega, or Escarrega. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. Maybe it's Chico Escarrega. I'll go with that. Chico Escarrega, he was 1-3 with a 3.67 ERA, 2 starts and 1 save. So he will be on. Now the question is, do the A's counter with any left-handed pinch hitting? Kevin Hickey pitched a 1-2-3 8th. So Escarrega is on. Jeff Burrows, the designated hitter, but he's pretty good against righties as well, so we're not going to pinch hit for Jeff Burrows. Look, his column 2 is loaded with home runs. But he found a column 1. 1-4 is a strikeout. So Burrows out on strikes. Here's Mickey Klutz. Now they will pinch hit for Mickey Klutz. They will definitely pull him. And they will pinch hit for Klutz with, I believe, Wayne Gross. And Wayne Gross will stay in the game to play third base. So Wayne Gross, their normal third baseman, is in. He was just sitting because they were facing a lefty. So Wayne Gross, actually his defense, a little bit better than Klutz, but not much. 4E16. So Wayne Gross is on. Pinch hit. Oops. Klutz finished the game 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. 5-7 against a lefty. Ground ball second base X. That's Bernazard. He's a 2E14. 2 and a 1. That's going to be a base hit, no doubt. 2 and a 6 shouldn't be a problem. I'm sorry, 14 and a 6 rather. 14 and 6 is not a problem, but a 2 and a 1 certainly is. It's a base hit, pinch hit single for Wayne Gross. So he's aboard. Not a very good runner. They will hold him on, but he's not any threat to steal. Escarrega with the, well, it's a 1, but there's no wild pitch chance. Here's Davey Lopes. It won't pinch hit for him. Escarrega 6-6. Ground ball shortstop A. That'll do it. 6-4-3. So Escarrega pitches out of it. And we go to the bottom of the 9th. 2-1 A's. Last chance for the White Sox. Langford, do they let him go for the complete game? Or do they go to the bullpen? Billy Martin has answered that question because Rick Langford is coming right back out. He has no knocks against him, so he's still good to go. They do have Dave Beard in the bullpen if needed. He is a right-hander. He is their closer. He has 11 saves on the season. They also have lefty Bob Ochinko, who has 3 saves. They got double barrel action in the bullpen just in case. But it's Rick Langford's game to either complete or possibly lose it. So Harold Baines will lead us off in the bottom of the 9th. 2-1 A's. And Harold Baines is 1 for 3 on the ball game against Langford. 4th time to face Langford. 6-8. 6-8's a single, so leadoff single for Harold Baines. He's now 2 for 4. And Baines with a chance to get a jump at a 6. Has to be a 6. And 2's not going to do it, so Baines will hold. And here's Pudge Fisk. He's not a good bunter, so they're going to have him swing away. They will have him swing away. 4-8. And that's trouble. 1-3 is a triple. 4-20 is a single 2 stars. That's a single 2 stars. That'll put runners at the corners with nobody out. And we may get a... Well, actually, Fisk runs pretty well for a catcher. So he will have to actually be held at first base. They will not pull him. He will have to be held. And here's Aurelio Rodriguez. He's 1 for 3. He's an excellent bunter. They could bunt Fisk, try to get him into scoring position to win the game, but you're also giving up a key out. So how do they want to play this? The A's are actually going to play the infield in. They don't want to give up that go-ahead run. They're going to play the infield in, so Rodriguez will be swinging away with the infield in. Langford staying out there. 5-10, and that's a ground ball shortstop X. Shortstop is Stanley. He's a 3E27. 3 and a 9. So we'll check the 3 and the 9. 3 and a 9 is a G3. So even with the infield in, the runners are going to advance. That's a 13 on the E27. There is a 12, but no 13. So it's a ground out, but the run will score. Even though the infield was in, it was hit so softly that Baines got a good jump and scored. And actually Fisk went to second. So RBI ground out by Rodriguez, and we are tied at 2. And the Sox have a chance to walk it off with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th. And Vance Law, the batter. Langford still hanging in there. Beard still waiting to come in, but Billy Martin has not made the move. Langford to Law, 6-5. Ground ball shortstop B. That's 2 down. And now it's up to Ron LaFleur. And they're going to try to get Langford to go all 9 if possible. And try to send this thing to extra innings. And don't you expect extra innings on the inaugural Monday night game of the season? Inaugural and only one is in this case. But here's LaFleur. Langford to LaFleur. 6-6. I was going to say 6-7 was going to take care of the extra innings, but 6-6 is a ground ball to short. And we do have extra innings. So we go to the 10th, tied at 2. So now Trout is definitely off the hook for the loss, but Rick Langford might be looking at a no decision. We shall see. Now Escaraga, I should say. Escaraga, let's check his fatigue. He's good on fatigue, so he will come back out and pitch the 10th. And for the A's, it's Jeff Newman, Fred Stanley, and Henderson, although there could be some pinch hitting going on, particularly for Stanley. Let's see who they want to bring in. McKay can play short. Dave McKay. So it looks like Dan Meyer or Jim Spencer either one of those could pick up a bat. Looks like Dan Meyer is going to pick up a bat. So Dan Meyer will hit for Stanley as a pinch hitter. And then Dave McKay will come in and play short in the bottom half of the inning. And McKay is a 4E14. Okay, so we have Newman, then we have the pinch hitter Meyer, and then we have Ricky Henderson. So Jeff Newman is on. See what he can do against Escaraga. Top of the 10th, 2-2. Free baseball on a Monday night. 4-7. That's a fly to center. 1 down. And now the pinch hitter, Dan Meyer, stepping to the plate. Scarriga, 2-3. Ground ball to first. Easy play for Mike Squires, who is the new first baseman. He makes the play very easily. 2 down. And now that sends up Ricky Henderson. 2-4, and that's a walk. That's danger because that's almost an automatic double when you do that. So Ricky's going to certainly try to get the jump. 2 through 10. A 9, he gets the jump. So he comes in 18. Minus 2 is a 16. And that's it. Everything else is 0. So 1 to 16, he steals it. And he got it. So Ricky Henderson steals second base, gets into scoring position for Dwayne Murphy. And he will be held at second base. Try to be held close by the shortstop, Vance Law. Scarriga. Now a lefty is up. Do they bring in a lefty out of the pen? They have Jerry Kuzman. He's the only lefty left in the bullpen. So I think they're going to let Scarriga pitch. Nothing on the Havoc. Scarriga to Murphy, 1-8. That's a ballpark home run chance, but it's only a 1. That's a 5. So instead, it's just a deep fly to right field to end the inning. So Scarriga pitches out of it. He pitches out of it. And we go to the bottom of the 10th, and that's going to be all for Rick Langford. He's going to get a no decision out of this. So they will go to the bullpen, will the A's. And let's see who they're going to bring on. Up for the Sox is Bernazard, Kemp, and Luzinski. Switch left and a right. So they may go to a lefty here, Bob Ochinko, and I think they will. So Bob Ochinko, the lefty, the only lefty in the bullpen for the A's. 2-4, the 5.21 ERA and 3 saves. So Bob Ochinko will be on. Langford goes 9, gives up 2. So bottom of the 10th. 2-2. Bernazard. Leading off, will turn around bat right-handed. 5-3. Ground ball pitcher X. And he's a 5, E0. So he won't make an error, but he might not get to it. He's a 5. And that's a 12. Let's see if he gets to that. I think he probably will. 5 and a 12 is a G3. So good enough. He does get to it. And there's 1 away, so Bernazard is retired. Scarriga will come back for a 3rd inning if need be, because he's not fatigued yet. Here's Kemp. Lefty on lefty, unless they want to pinch hit for Kemp. Let's see what the Sox have in their bench remaining. They have not used. They've used Law, they've used Pachorik, they've used Allman. They have Morrison, and they have Jerry Hairston. But I don't think either one of them are better hitters than Kemp. Yeah, I think we'll stick with Kemp. We're not going to worry about lefty. He hits lefties well enough, so they're going to keep him in there. So Chinko to Kemp, 5-6, and that's a single to right field. Single to right field by Kemp. And he might try to get a jump here. Let's see. -1 from the pitcher, +1 from the catcher is a net 0. It'd only be a 1-11, though, so that's a 50-50 proposition, so to speak. Plus, he can get picked off on a 10. So they're going to hold him there. And Greg Luzinski's the batter. Havoc roll for Ochinko against Luzinski. 5-9. Struck him out. Big strikeout for Ochinko. 2 down, and now you got the left-handed hitting Mike Squires because he came in pinch hitting for Pachorik earlier. So we got lefty on lefty. He does not hit lefties well at all. But do the Sox have any other first baseman? I don't think they do. No, they have nobody left on the bench that can play first base. I don't believe, unless I don't think Fisk can play first base. Let's see. Yeah, he can play first base actually. So they're gonna pinch hit for Squires. They're gonna pinch hit for Squires with Jim Morrison. So Jim Morrison's gonna pinch hit for Squires, and then Mark Hill. Actually, you know what? They're gonna have Mark Hill pinch hit. Why waste 2 guys? Mark Hill is gonna pinch hit. And then he'll stay in the game to catch, and Fisk will move to first base. That's what they'll do. So Fisk will move to first base, assuming we go to the 11th. And Mark Hill will be on to catch. I'm running out of room on my score sheet here. So Mark Hill is the catcher and the pinch hitter in this case. So we'll check for the Havoc. Nothing going on. Ochinko to Hill. 2 outs, runner at first, tied at 2 here in the bottom of the 10th. 6-12, that's ground ball second base X. with Kemp being held, second baseman is responsible, so he will lose one on his range. So Lopes now becomes a 5E21. A 12, that could be the difference between a hit and a non-hit. Let's see, a 5 and a 12, though, is a G3 pound sign. But it says if the infield is responsible for holding the runner, it's a base hit. Single 2 stars. Let's make sure there's no error involved. That's a 13, and he is an E21. There is a 13. That's that spot that gets him an error. So, boy, if I'm doing this correctly, that's the ball game, because the single 2 stars is the ball game, right? 2 stars puts him to third, and the error puts him home. So, unless I'm calculating this incorrectly, Mark Hill gets credit for a single that puts Kemp to third, and then the E4 from Lopes brings him home. E4 from Lopes brings him home because on an E21, that 13 is right there, and that's a 13. And he is an E21 at second base, 4E21. So if I'm doing it correctly, the 12 on the 5 says it's a G3 pound sign, unless I'm penalizing him twice. But I don't think so. I think that's just the way it goes. Or maybe that is penalizing him twice. Maybe you don't change the number there. You just go for this way. So let me do it this way. Let me backtrack here. I think I'm not supposed to make him a 5. I think I'm supposed to keep him a 4. So that would be a G3. There's still an error involved, but it's a G3. So the G3 means, so let me fix this. And hold the phone. So I think I played that wrong. I think the holding the runner gets affected on the X chart. You don't take the number away from him or increase a number in any way. I'm pretty sure that's how it's played. So a single and an error will get him to second base. That is Mark Hill. Single gets Kemp to second, and then the E4 gets him to third base. So he is now at third base. Second error of the game on Lopes. Now they have runners at second and third with 2 down for Harold Baines. Lefty on lefty against Ochinko. Fisk is on deck, so you're not going to walk Baines to get to Fisk. So they're going to have to pitch to Baines. Ochinko, nothing on the Havoc. Here's Baines. 4-5, and that is a ground ball shortstop X. And the shortstop is McKay, the new shortstop. Just came in. 4E14. 4 and a 4, that might get through for the hit to end the game right there. 4 and a 4 is a base hit. Don't have to worry about the error. It's a base hit from Baines. And the Sox now officially win the game 3-2 in 10 innings. So hopefully I played that right and didn't give them that extra boost, because I think on that X play you don't up the number here. It's affected by the chart. So with that being the case, the Sox win it 3-2. Winning pitcher was Chico Escarraga. He gets the win. Bob Ochinko takes the loss. Billy Martin not happy at all. But the Sox make the hometown Southsiders happy and send the home folks home with a Monday night victory in the first Monday night game of 1980, first ABC Monday night game of 1982, and for this channel, the only Monday night game of 1982. But it turned out to be a good one, so I was pretty happy with it. 3-2, had a couple questionable things on the rules, just trying to get myself refreshed to them, because playing all these other games, rules can sometimes merge together. If I was just playing Strat-O-Matic and nothing else, then it wouldn't be an issue. But playing all these games, which I like to do, but sometimes the idiosyncrasies of the rules can be a little bit where you forget. Plus my age may have something to do with it too. I don't know. I'm not that old, I don't guess. All right, anyway, that's going to do it from here. Monday Night Baseball in the books. White Sox with the win. 3-2 in 10 innings. And that's going to do it from here. Till next time. The next Strat-O-Matic game will be the Saturday game. And let me see who that's going to be. The game a couple days ago was Cleveland and Boston. And the next one on the schedule, which will be on June the 19th, is going to be these same White Sox. They're going to travel to the West Coast to take on the California Angels. So we will see the White Sox again against the California Angels on the Saturday game of the week. on June the 19th. This game was played June the 7th. So actually June the 12th. What happened to June the 12th? Okay, I'm getting my dates screwed up here. This is before the Cleveland-Boston game. The next game is going to be Cleveland-Boston. My bad. Next game will be Cleveland and Boston on the game of the week from Fenway Park. And then the following game of the week on the 19th will be Chicago at California. And then on June 28th, the game of the week on Saturday is LA at Houston. That's the remaining schedule for the Saturday games of the week in the month of June. Then once I go to July, I've got the whole schedule up there, but what I want to do in July is I'm going to start paying attention to the standings, the way the computer is simming it, and I may alter the schedule based on, games and play games that are more impactful on the pennant races. So that's good from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Baseball. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, how we choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.